Hey guys, this is Paul with RC Foam Fighters. I've been getting a lot of questions, people asking about doing an EDF F-117. I had a couple of these old test builds, back when I was developing the plane, that were just lying in the basement. So I decided to take one of them and, just kind of do a quick hack job and throw an EDF in it. So basically I took a 64mm EDF, and this plane that was already built, so I had to do a lot of cutting just to get it to be able to fit it in. But I mounted a 64mm EDF in here. This is one of the old Hobby King Dr. Mad thrust ones that runs on 4S and is rated to 850 watts. It barely fit in there to get enough clearance, with the top of the canopy. So I got it cut and put in there. Just did a quick battery tray, and I put some cheater holes on the bottom to let air in, because the air ducts aren't that big. And when I did a quick thrust test, it had roughly about 1-to-1 power to weight ratio. It was able to hold a plane up with its own thrust. So I'm not sure how good this is going to fly. Again, this is just going to be a quick test bed. There's the thrust tube just coming out the back. We do have a lot of obstructions with the tail fins the way they were on this original mock-up build. So if it proves to fly though, I'll re-engineer it and do better work on the duct work coming out the back, and hopefully kind of clean it up so that it has better clean air. But anyway, this is going to be just a quick test build that I threw together with one of these existing planes I had, and we'll see if it flies with the EDF. So we'll get out to Herman Airport and see how it flies. Ready?
Yep. Up to him. Man, something's not right. Hey, come back, come back. Come on, come back. Your CG way off or what?
I don't know. Yeah, I have to be on full throttle.
Okay, something's funky on this thing. I don't know if it's just the weird way that the EDF is in there with the tube or what. It's flying pretty funky. I'm having to be on it like almost full throttle. Can you get up any higher and just do a glide and see what it's doing? See if it's nosing down too much or what? How's the glide?
Down.
Down big time. All right.
Are you still on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm nose heavy.
I was gonna say, is your CG way off? I don't know, I thought I took it off my regular plane, but it feels like it's nose heavy. I'm constantly having to keep some up elevator to keep the nose up. Oh, yeah, it is kind of roll happy, so I think the CG is off. Let me see if I can bring it in, see if I can adjust it. Another flight. Okay, I'm gonna come in, Frank. All right. If I can keep it in the air. Land without killing it. Yeah, it's definitely nose heavy. Okay guys, we're going to do a second attempt with this EDF F-117. I put some up trim in it and I moved the battery a little farther back to hopefully get the CG closer. It felt like it was a little nose heavy, so I think I might have been off a little bit. That, and I'm not sure if the way I have the EDF, maybe it's creating some sort of weird deflection off there and pushing it down. One other thing me and Frank did, we taped up the bottom prop slot so the air hopefully won't go down through that bottom area and just be pushed out through the back. Still want the nose down. So I don't know if, that's caused by some weird deflection on the
The way that stuff's blowing through all the rear stabilizers,
Yeah.
could be doing something weird. You're probably gonna have to redesign that, man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this was just a quick overnight throw together just to see if it'll fly.
Would you
with
build
the
that
EDF.
thing in like 4 hours or something,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, it was just one of the old test models I had. It feels like, you know, it's really roll happy, so I'm thinking for some reason it's acting like it's nose heavy still. Oh, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Are you having to stay full throttle again? All the time, or?
Just about. You know, maybe it is, because it seems like it's a little less when I'm off the throttle, the nose down. It's weird, but you think pushing on that would push the nose up. I don't know. Well, it looks like, you know, it will fly with the EDF. I just gotta fix the design. So there's not so much blockage. That's nice straight through for it. It's definitely a handful to fly right now.
Yeah, and it is getting kind of windy now too. You're getting gusts.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it in, Franco.
All right.
This thing is just too squirrely.
Yeah, you're heading into the wind now,
Yeah.
so. Oh, damn. Oh, overshot the landing strip. Oh, well.
Like I said, this is just a throwaway version. I threw it together last night, you know, in about 4 hours from an old model I had when I was doing the pre-builds for the regular FF-117V2. So it looks like it flies. I might do some modifications to that tail end, make sure the thrust tube comes all the way out the back without hitting those tail fins like it is. So we'll see what happens.
All right, guys, we're back in the workshop. The plane survived the first day of test flights, although it did fly quite a bit wonky. It was really weird to control in the air. I'm not sure what all was causing everything. I think part of it is definitely all this obstructions, you know, from the tail fins coming out where the thrust tube comes out. So I think that was causing it to do weird things in the air, and it was definitely limiting the power. So I want to rebuild the plane. I'm gonna, you know, make a better back section with a better dedicated area for the thrust tubes to come out. Another thing I was just thinking about too is maybe these cheater holes I had on the bottom of the plane, where I was letting the extra air get into the plane for the duct fan to suck it in. I was wondering if somehow maybe, you know, the way the EDF is sucking air, maybe that's causing it to suck the bottom of the plane down, you know, because it always felt like I was nose heavy and I had to put a constant up elevator, you know, while I was flying. So I'm not sure if that was causing something like that. I don't know. Let me know your guys' ideas, what you think. But anyway, moving forward, this plane, I'm either going to have to probably size it up a little bit if I want to go with a big EDF. Right now, 64 millimeters is pretty much the biggest thing you can squeeze in there. And it has to come so far forward that it makes getting the CG or center of gravity harder to get. I had to move the battery farther back than it usually is. Usually, you know, on the prop plane, it's pretty far forward to get the center of gravity right. So I'm either going to probably size up the plane so I can scoot the motor back, or what I might also do is I was thinking I might go down to 2 smaller 50 millimeter EDFs. So run a pair of them. You know, they'll be smaller so they can probably fit farther back in the plane. That'll also make the thrust tubes a little bit shorter. It'll make the weight a little bit towards the back. It'll help me be able to, you know, move the battery forward, or maybe even use a larger battery to get a better center of gravity. Those are just kind of some of my ideas. So let me know what you guys think in the bottom in the comment section. It'll probably be a few weeks before I get back to working on this plane, but I definitely plan on getting to it and building some sort of EDF F-117. So it might be sized up even a little bit if I use the dual 50 millimeter EDFs. You know, I got to put it into CAD, see how much room I got to work with. But definitely, I think, you know, once we redesign the back end, get this cleaned up so there's no obstructions in the back of the airflow, it should definitely improve the performance. And I'm gonna rework these air ducts on the EDF version. I'll probably cut this out right here, so it's a bigger opening. And I'll probably, on the EDF version, just get rid of this bottom piece right here, just to make it a big opening. We may put smaller cheater holes on the bottom, and I might put a cheater hole on the top lid portion, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it works. What I'll do first probably is, like I said, I'll widen up these ducts and see how the airflow works, and get everything situated. But anyway, look for that coming in the future. We'll leave it off at here for now, and stay tuned. We'll get back to work on it sometime in the future.